when we have a vaccine, various vaccines proven to be safe and they get rolled out, will the vaccine ever be compulsory, or will it enable, say, access to, for instance, travel? If you haven't had the vaccine, you can't get on a plane, or you can't use certain public services. You can't, for instance, send your children to school. Or will we be looking at some compulsory element to the vaccine?
Well, it's complex because there's some people who, for medical reasons, can't have a vaccine. And so it does have to be, it's a complex question. Of course, I want as many people as possible to take it, and we won't be allowing it. We won't be regulating it. The regulators wouldn't let it happen until it is both effective, which we know on the BioNTech Pfizer one, and safe. And the safety is critical as well. So that's what we've got. That's the next stage. That's what we've got to get through.
No, but it's not that complex a question, is it? Are we going to force people to have the vaccine or not?
Well, we're not proposing that it'll be mandatory. Partly for the reasons that I set out, that some people can't have it for instance, for medical reasons. But we do want a very large proportion of people to take it. And this year, the biggest proportion ever of the population are taking the flu vaccine, the most ever, and that's for good reason. So I hope that we can. We can take that to the next level.
You're categorically ruling out it becoming okay. We understand there are people who can't take any vaccines, or MMR. Some children can't have MMR, and the reason we know that. But for the large scale population who could safely have this vaccine, you are categorically ruling out making it compulsory or mandatory, or having any public services or of access to anything contingent on people having the vaccine. Is that correct?
Well, I hope that a very large proportion of people will want to take the vaccine because it's the right thing to do. Well, and we haven't. We're not proposing at this stage to make it mandatory. We don't think that'll be.
So you're not you are not ruling out a mandatory vaccination program.
Honestly, I've learned not to rule things out during this pandemic because you have to watch what happens and you have to make judgments accordingly.
So you're saying that it is totally feasible, it is totally still on the cards, that we could see people effectively being held down and forcibly given the vaccine or imprisoned if they refuse to have the vaccine?
Well, you're trying to put words into my mouth both one way and then the other, and I'm not going to. I'm going to explain what the position is, which is that we don't plan a mandatory element.
As long as enough people use the vaccine.
Well, not least because of the complications that there are around that, because some people can't have it.
Those would be exempt, wouldn't they? And what do you make of the Labour position about having an anti-vax sort of fake news ban, emergency laws brought in to stop dissemination of fake facts about made up lies, basically, about the risks of vaccinations generally? Do you think that there should be a social media ban on this?
Well, we've got a huge amount of work going on this, and there's working with and pushing the social media companies to play their part. In the very large part, they already are, but there's more things that we can do together, and that's what we're working on.